Hi guys, this is my first fragrance haul video ever. I think they're kind of silly, but I do actually think it's fun sometimes to watch what people have bought and why. And I thought I'd just take you through. I went on a trip with a friend up north of Stockholm to a city called Sundsvall, and they have a great perfume store there with only niche fragrances. And I don't know how many houses how many they have in their offering, but it's an incredible shop. We had made an appointment, otherwise it's only web shop, and this owner took care of us personally for like a good 4 to 5 hours. So of course I couldn't go there and come back empty-handed. So I really went for it, and I think maybe I made a mistake or two because I really believe in trying fragrances first and then buying. I mean, I don't mean just trying at the counter. I mean trying several times at home. And this is what I preach in my channel and in my Swedish perfume group on Facebook, where I often, go live and I'll tell them what I recommend and things like that. And I usually always recommend never to blind buy, and to pick something up at the store and get all blown away is almost like blind buying. No, not quite. I wouldn't say quite like blind buying, but okay, so I'll tell you what I picked out. The first thing that I really knew ahead of time that I wanted to get something from this house is Zoologist. I think this house is quite inspiring, and I really wanted to I'd only tried a few fragrances from them before. One of them is Squid. I'm going to make a separate video about this. And I know I mentioned Snowy Owl the other day, which I didn't like at all. I've tried Hummingbird. I've tried a good few of them, but I've never really given them like a proper wearing. It's mostly I've tried them at somebody's house. And the reason I kind of got stuck on this one was it has a beautiful eucalyptus top, I think with some citrus notes and something green. It's a really uplifting kind of experience. And it's all around the natural habitat of the koala, because they actually spend their whole life kind of sleeping in the eucalyptus trees, and then they wake up to eat and they wake up to mate. So they sleep 20 out of 24 hours a day, and they kind of munch on these eucalyptus leaves that contains the oil, the eucalyptus oil that has this special smell. And I think it's such a beautiful smell. It's actually kind of a favorite note of mine, or things that remind me of eucalyptus. If you haven't tried Decas from Xerjoff, please do. That one also, I don't know if it has a eucalyptus note or if it just reminds me of eucalyptus. It's just beautiful. And this one has kind of that eucalyptus kind of oily, minty quality to it. And in the base, it has more like a woodsy notes and incense, I think, going on. I'm going to make an in-depth review of this, but I find that it's an exciting fragrance to get to know, and I really did give this a proper try at the store. I put it on as we came in, and it was on my skin for like 4 hours, and I kept sniffing my hand, and I had it in the best place, and I just kind of thought I find it so interesting. I'm not sure I'd pick this up and wear it to a party, because it's more of a kind of a natural experience, like an experience out in the wild kind of feeling. But it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It works well on my skin. So I think it's a keeper for sure. Okay, and this is a really strange buy I did at the last minute that I think might be a purchase that I should not have made. But the price was pretty good. This is L'Orchestre Parfum. It's called, you see on the side, they have the name, but all the bottles look the same. And most of them have names that kind of sound like an instrument, like piano santal, amber cello. This one is called Electro Limonade. So the opening is fantastic. It's like a big blast of different citrus fruits with vetiver. And I don't normally like vetiver, but in this special combination with these incredible citrus notes, the opening is just wow. Let's put it this way. This perfume makes a really good first impression. And that is a little dangerous, because that can sometimes get me to buy things. And then since the dry down is different, I end up not reaching for it so much. And I think this one might be one of those. And also the performance isn't great. It doesn't project that well. It turns into a skin scent, which is not always a bad thing. But this retails for about what did I pay? Let's see, 14.50. Yeah, like it's about 145 euros or dollars, roughly. I mean, it is a really good fragrance, but I don't know if I will reach for it. And this is a mistake that I often do. I buy things that I really, really enjoy the smell of, and then I come home and then I find it, after a while, I find it a little bit too masculine for me to want to wear it. And I keep thinking, oh, this would be great on a man. So I don't know. Beautiful fragrance. Please get your nose on it. I find it really uplifting, this fragrance. And maybe this will be my, the doorway to loving vetiver, which I do not love yet. I mean, I do have fragrance. I have lots of fragrances that have vetiver that I love, but when vetiver is kind of like a really prominent note, I usually tend to not like it so much. Okay, so that was that one. And then this was also kind of a last minute grab because there were so many things. I wanted to get actually a bottle of Bengal Rouge from Papillon Artisan Perfumes. That one I know I love because I've tried half a decant, but it's pretty indie. It's really like a really nectarish, honeyish kind of fragrance. I didn't wear it that often because it's pretty heavy and also very expensive. Okay, this one's not cheap either. I don't know who I'm kidding here, but this is called Lost Alice, and it's from a house called Masque Milano, which I have made some acquaintances with before. I've had a sample of this. I remember loving it, but I remember it differently. I remember this kind of as an iris fragrance, but what it really is, it's like a creamy sandalwood fragrance. It's or you might call it, it has black tea or is it green tea? It's tea and milk. Tea and milk, some spices. I think it has black pepper. And then it has a really kind of prominent note of sandalwood, like a creamy sandalwood. So I think that those of you who are familiar with Santal 33 might recognize this a little bit. But this is more, I don't like that. I don't like Santal 33. At least I didn't last time I tried it. And I keep trying it every now and then because I want to understand why that fragrance has become so popular. At least here in Sweden, it's like super, super popular. Even like normal people wear it. I mean, like not fragrance nerds. They go pick up a bottle of that and that's all they wear like every day, which I cannot understand at all. But this one, and I'm really picking up on sandalwood. I mean, sandalwood as a note has really grown on me lately. And I love Piano Santal, for example. And I just bought a bottle of Santal Complète from Fragrance du Bois. I'm going to make a separate review of that. But this one, I think I'll be happy with this one. It's very creamy. It's kind of maybe not my typical style. It's a little bit gourmandish. The price is, you see this bottle, the bottom is really thick. So this is only like a 35 ml, but it's quite concentrated. It is an EDP version. I forgot to mention, this is an Extrait de Parfum, and it's 60 ml. And these come in two different price ranges, and this is the cheaper. I don't know if they're half cheap and half expensive, but I think they're two different price categories. This one is the cheaper one. It's like 155 euro, approximately. This one, how much was it? I was going to try to remember. It was under $150 anyway, or euros, but it's a very small amount, so quite expensive. And then I got to buy, I bought, what I liked about this shop is called Fragrance and Art. So if you are watching and from the Nordic countries, you can check out her website. It's fragranceandart.com. I don't think she delivers outside of those countries, though. It didn't look like it on the website. Okay, I really appreciate being able to buy small bottles. So I bought 3 from Maria Candida Gentile. It's a French house. And I knew already that I love Sideris. It's a fragrance that reminds me a little bit of Flower by Kenzo. It's kind of a little bit, it has a little incense, it has vanilla, it has some florals. It's not identical to that, but it reminds me of that. It's a really good beginner's incense. And these are 15 ml, and I think I paid like $35 euros for these. And then I got Burlesque. I think that also has incense, and I can't remember what else, but it's been talked about, and I thought I liked it in the store. I don't consider it like a blind buy when I buy something so little. It's more when I buy these 100 milliliter, like I did with this one. That's when I really think that maybe that wasn't necessary. And then one that I think is maybe one of the most talked about ones, it's called Exultat, I think it's called. This one is really different. It gives me kind of an inky experience when I smell it like this, but in the store, I found that it both reminded me of Artemisia from Penhaligon's and also of the Perfume and Roma fragrances, like especially like Suavissima, those kind of Oxiana. If you've tried that, that has like an incensey, is an incense perfume. I'm going to be making reviews of all of those. So now I have a lot of new material. Okay, and then I got to buy from her like 3 tester bottles for like a steal. These were a steal. Really, really good price. Very far away from the market price. And I got my hands on one of these, Remarkable People from Etat Libre, which I think is considered one of their best fragrances. And for good reason. It's such an easy wear. And it's just a really soft, satisfying kind of, in the same way as this one. I don't know if anyone is familiar with it since it's discontinued, but this is like a really cozy fragrance with ambergris. And this one has a little bit of that too. It's kind of like a little bit of an ambery base, but then it has like a really nice citrus top. And I just find this, I don't know, it's just so, let me see about the notes here. It's champagne. It has champagne. So maybe that like makes it from going not too sweet. Oh, and then it has something called Lorinox, which is a molecule that's supposed to, it's like an accord that is woody, ambery, leathery, and aromatic. It's kind of new to me. And then it has curry tree. So I'm not quite sure how all these notes go. And it has cardamom. So it's a little bit kind of, it's a really satisfying kind of leaning a speck gourmandish, like a speck, but it's just a really nice, cozy wear that would work, that works all year round. I mean, I just had it. It was a little overcast this morning. I put this on. It was just perfect. It reminded me a little bit of that ambergris fragrance. And I think this one doesn't have ambergris, but ambergris and fragrance, I think, gives the perfume like a lot of body. And I think this does that too. So this is 100 ml. I will definitely wear this. It's such an easy wear. I know that I like it. So I'm very happy with that one. Then I got my hands on this discontinued gem. It's called L'eau d'Ambré, and it's the extreme version. There's nothing extreme about it, though. It's the old bottles of L'Artisan Parfumeur. She used to carry this in her store. She no longer does. She doesn't like what they've done to the brand, what they've done to the bottles. I think she thinks that they're watered down. And anyway, I am very happy to have an old formula of this because, and I haven't quite gotten to know it, but I did do a side-by-side yesterday with like 3 other ambers just to see like if there was any truth in the expression, you know, if you have one amber, you've smelled them all. It is not true. There is good reason to have many ambers in one's collection. It's a beautiful amber. It's a floral, kind of very soft, very refined amber. And I tried it, for example, side by side with Amberlievable from Astrophil and Stella. And that one just felt screamy next to it. Actually, I even stopped liking it after experiencing this because I thought it's so loud and exotic and it smells like bananas. And I just could never see myself wearing it after this. And then I tried it next to Coromandel from Chanel, which I still liked with it. And then I tried it next to Lumière from Molinard, which I used to love, but I thought that one was, this one's so much more beautiful that one had to go. I've actually already sold it now. Okay, so the last one that I picked up is from the house called Les Indemodables. It's a French house. It's very pricey. The projection and performance is not great. I think I've heard that they use lots of natural ingredients, but this is a beautiful marine scent. It's called Escale en Indonesie. So stopover in Indonesia. It has like nice citruses. It has ambergris, and I love anything with ambergris. But the performance is really lousy. And they have a great other fragrance that I would have liked to purchase had the performance not been so bad. And it's called Musque de Sables, like a great musk with iris. And it's so beautiful. It was just the perfect scent, except for the performance. And I think the same goes for this. But now I've found a way to amplify this a little bit. And I combine it with one of these molecule perfumes. It's called Not a Perfume from Juliet. Is it called Juliet Has a Gun? yeah, I tried, because I can't even smell that, but it's still in my collection. I have a travel size, and I tried combining these two, and they work really well together. So this I can kind of smell with that, and it stays. Great sprayer. I mean, I'm really happy to have it, and I got it for such a good price. So this whole experience was unbelievable. She took such good care of us there. If you're in the Nordic countries, please shop from her. She's from Ukraine. You know, her family's at war. It just felt so nice also to give her this business, and she needs it. And I can't wait to, shop more from this shop. But it's so much more fun to actually physically go into a shop and purchase things rather than order online. I hardly ever order online. I think it's really boring. And I also want to contribute to people who actually have a shop open. She's only by appointment, but she does have a shop in central Sundsvall, which is a smaller town in Sweden. She also gave me 2 samples. I'll just tell you about this one, or I'll tell you about both of them because they're really, really nice, and I considered buying bottles of them both. And one is called, is from the house Limonade. It's French. The fragrance is called Secrets de Paradis Rouge. And the juice looks like this. And it's a beautiful creamy orange flower experience with honey. It reminds a little bit of Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian. A little bit like Addictive Vibration from Initio, but I think this is much more beautiful and refined. I was kind of blown away by this, but since I have this little travel size of Love Don't Be Shy, I felt like I didn't want to buy any doubles, so I ended up not getting it. And I can't remember the price of this, but I'm going to dive into this house, and I'm going to explore these fragrances more in depth because I think they had a lot to offer. Yeah, and the other one was, oh darn, I dropped something, she makes her own samples. They look like this. Someone just recommended, since they knew I was going there, this guy sent me a message and wanted me to try on his behalf a fragrance called Sovereign from Le Galion. And I guess she had it in the store in 2 different concentrations. The one from 2016, and now they've done an update. It's a little bit more, not quite as concentrated. This is the concentrated one, and I tried it. It's a beautiful oud kind of vanilla experience. And I had it on in the store for quite a few hours. I loved it. But since I have this tendency to buy things sometimes that I come home and I find them too masculine to wear, especially if they're this kind of oudy and lots of base notes, I thought I'm gonna go through this sample first, and then buy. So, but it's a beautiful oud fragrance. If you're into it, please check it out. Le Galion is kind of a new house to me. I haven't tried anything from that house. So I really need to kind of be careful so I don't get all carried away when I buy things. But so I did buy a lot in one go. I spent over maybe 550 euros or something like that. It wasn't too bad. But, and I mean, some of these bottles I can sell or I can swap and sort of get my money back since I didn't pay so much for them. But yeah, that was my little fragrance haul, and I'll be back with reviews of these fragrances in upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.